That's right. We are back to Football 101, and this is week number one. Week number one of the NFL. That's right. Week number one of the NFL 2021 season. The first game happened on Thursday night. As you know, is that's right. It's the Dallas Cowboys versus the Tampa Bay Bucs. Tampa Bay Bucs. Tampa Bay Bucs. And the games are going on right now as I tape this show on a Sunday, and I'm not even going to talk about the games that's happening on Sunday. That's right. I'm not even going to talk about the games, and there are some surprises, by the way. What I've been looking at, there's some surprises. It's going to be a long season. Matter of fact, this season has an extra game, so it's going to be an extra long season. So don't worry about if things don't go well the first part of the first game or the first few games. There's plenty of time to make up whatever happens in the first game, but the first game is a teller. Is an indication. So yes, this is Football 101. Welcome back. Please subscribe. Please like. We are back. And yes, I don't need to tell you that, yes, I'm still supporting the Tampa Bay Bucs. What can I say? So that's I'm just gonna talk about the first game. The first game on Thursday night. Cowboys, Dak Prescott versus the Bucs, Brady. That's all. It's a thriller. It was a thriller. And one of the things, I just looked at the tape, by the way. I looked at portions of the game, like the first series, and then I tuned out, and then I break down the game. I break down the game afterwards. After it's all done, I break down the game. And you can tell whether a team is in the groove, or it's going to take them a while to get in the groove. So that's what I do. I break down the game, so it doesn't allow me to get too hyped up during the game. So I break down the tape, and let me just say, and I don't even go through entire, but I just look at tendencies. And if you look at tendencies, you can tell. Oh, well, sorry about that. You can tell which way the team is going to go through the season, looking at the players, the coaches, all the other stuff that's going off the field, but really right there in the scheme of things. So yes, I'm the Beetle. I'm your host again. I am back. Remember, I supported the team way back when, so I am back. And I don't know how many shows I'm going to do, but right now, it to me, it's just starting with game number one. I'm just going to leave it like that for week number one. So there's some great matchups this week. Great matchups. Fantastic matchups. But I'm not going to go into those other matchups. This was a thriller on Thursday night. Cowboys versus Bucs. Dak Prescott coming back from his injury. All this extra drama. All this Hard Knocks drama. Is he back? Is his arm, throwing out his arm, his ankle? Dak was back. Let me just say, Dak was back. Yeah, the brother was on spot. He was on spot from the start. So it was really good. It was really good to see Dak Prescott Dak Prescott in the groove from the very start. But let me just break down the first half, a little bit of the first half. First series, Bucs had the offense. Brady had the ball. They moved, but they were 3 and out on the first drive. Actually, Brady was moved off his spot by the defense of the Cowboys. He missed Godwin. So they had the punt. Great punt. Down to the 2-yard line. 2-yard line for the Cowboys. And guess what Dak Prescott did? Dak Prescott came out. Bam! He hit Amari Cooper for a nice long pass right up front. And let me just say, the Bucs defense looked confused. I mean, I played a good again and again. Devin White, Levante David, Shaq Barrett. That defense, again, you think that the defense is going to really manage this game for the Bucs. The defense, let me just say this, the Bucs defense were out of whack. Particularly the back end of the defense. You can see it on the very first series. And then it just played itself out throughout the rest of the game. So, just right there, the defense, Bucs defense, going to have to shore up some stuff. So, again, Prescott hit Amari Cooper. They were stopped. And then the Bucs' second series on offense. First it was Garrett running on the first drive. And then they brought in running back Ronald Jones on the second series. Brady hits Mike Evans for his first catch. Then he hits Gronk. Let me just say, Gronk is finally back in super shape. You could just see it. He was fluid. He was blocking. He was getting to his place. So he wasn't lumbering. This was fluid. Fluid Gronk hitting his spot. Wow. 20 yards past catch. Gronk looked great that game. And then Brady throws a rainbow to AB, Antonio Brown. Yes, a rainbow to Antonio Brown. Then Brady hits Godwin at 6-yard line. And then Brady hits Godwin for a 6-yard TD over the middle. 7-0. Thing of beauty. Got back in the groove. So, again, it looked like Brady was getting, in the second series, you can see they were able to run their offense, get back in the flow. The key was, again, they got three tight ends. Gronk, they have Howard came back, and they also have the third tight end, number 84, and so they got three tight ends, and these are superstar tight ends. But Gronk has elevated his game where he sees majority of the snaps now. Last year they were rotating out. Howard was injured, but they have three. And let me just say, it's good to have Bernard in the backfield along with Jones. Bernard is the third down running back, catching the ball out of the backfield. He is desperately needed because, again, he adds that extra speed, that twitch, that in and out, and he can read the defense as well. So Bernard, coming from the Cincinnati Bengals, is a great addition to this offense. So, again, in the second series, Brady got into the flow. Mr. 44-year-old. Just bringing it again. Just bringing it. So that was 7-0. And then Dallas gets the ball. And let me just say, Dak was in the groove. And he throws a CeeDee Lamb. And then they actually score. And it was really a thing of beauty. And matter of fact, they beat, he beat Bunting, the defensive back Bunting, who dislocated his elbow or something like. It looked nasty in the game. It looks nasty where it was been. So Dak Prescott, wow, yeah, give props to Dak. And I didn't know how he was going to come out. He was running around, he was grooving, he was running out of the pocket, and he was making throws, throwing dimes. Okay, and so he was on the money. So Dak, give it up to Dak. When Dak is on it, it just elevates the Cowboys to another level. There's no doubt. Let me just say, the Cowboys will be there in the playoffs. If Dak does not get injured, the Cowboys with Dak and their defense, young defense, and they have the Micah linebacker. I forget his last name right now. But he's added fluidity to that defense, and their defensive line just got to step up, add more pressure. Their defensive backs got to they're hanging in there very better. And plus, they have Dan Quinn as defensive coordinator. Dan Quinn is, I can see, already made a difference on the defensive play calling. Dan Quinn is an excellent. He's stabilizing that defense. Okay, so I give it up to the Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboy fan, but Dan Quinn, he's getting that defense in the flow. Okay, he's going to teach them a lot. So just with that scheme, that new scheme in their defense, they will be in the games, and they'll be able to keep teams' total points down much better than last year and the year before. So I give props to that. So it was 7-7. First quarter, third series for the Bucs, third series for the Brady hits AB Thursday, and then they had the punt, and then it comes to the second quarter. Fourth series for I'm going straight to it. Fourth series for the offense, for the Bucs offense. Brady hits Gronk, then Brady hits Godwin, then Brady hits Godwin for a 6-yard, then Brady hits Gronk for a TD, his first TD. That's the 100th TD between Brady and Gronk, and of course Gronk did the Gronk slam. The TD slam. Yes, so you can see that Gronk was in the groove and just read his keys well, and he was ready. So that made it 14-7. Then Ronald Jones, in the fifth series, he fumbled the ball. Okay, Bucs secondary, and like I said, Bucs secondary not as tight. But one thing around that third series and the third and fourth series, I can tell that Brady, he was fluid in the pocket. I mean, Chris Collinsworth, commentator of the football game, noticed how fast Brady's release is. It's actually faster than when he started in the league. Just when he started, and just more than 10 years ago, his release, his mechanics are faster now than several years ago. So he practiced, and Collinsworth brought it. He obviously practices his technique again and again to find ways to cut down the timing, and that's what it is. The timing, getting on page with the wide receivers, and you can just tell Brady. He gets along with AB, Antonio Brown, and you can just see the chemistry there. He brought AB from disaster. He was out of football. AB was out. What did Brady do? He brought him in. He said, "I want you. Let's turn your life around. Let's do this." And so one thing after another, Godwin jumps on board. Of course, Gronk is there. Then Mike Evans is there. And then they bring it again. You could just tell. But Brady's skill, Brady's technique is better than just a few years ago. So now, again, the offense, but again, things happen. Bucs, Dak hits Cooper again beats Winfield. And so it was 14-13. Then the sixth series for the Bucs. Brady hits Godwin. Brady hits AD for a 48-yard TD. That was Brady stepped up further in the pocket. Saw AB running not a post pattern, but a flag pattern straight down the field, hitting for 48 yards. This is right before halftime. And it was a thing of beauty. Brady's release time, like I said, is faster now. And again, that was just reading the coverage and knowing where AB would be. They hooked up again. So that was a thing of beauty. 48 yards, and then the first half ended 21-16. Let me just say the defense for the Bucs started to rev it up. Vea, the nose tackle, was jamming. So was Dominic Sue. Dominic Sue was playing tough. Pierre Paul, tough. The linebackers were frustrated, but they eventually settled down and started adding more pressure. Again, the problem with the Bucs, what I see, is their defensive secondary. Winfield Jr., he can only do so much. The corner, what was his name? Dean, the corner. He's a big corner. Yeah, cornerback. He couldn't cover Cooper. So their defensive back, their corners, and their other safety cannot cover the speed wide receiver, not even the speed wide. They just can't cover. So that's their weakness, the back end. So they're going to have to really tighten that up. And Todd Bowles, he's got a new contract. I think he's got another 3-year extension contract. He's going to have to get on the defensive backs. He's going to have to scheme things up a little bit more to protect his defensive backs. Because right now they're guessing. They're guessing. And they're not going against the fastest wide receiver. The Cowboys don't have the fastest wide receivers. Okay, they're barely they're no burners. They just run their routes. So I can see the secondary is a weakness for the Bucs. So Todd Bowles going to have to really come up with some new packages, defensive packages. Move things around and bring in Shaq Barrett. Different ways. Got to bring in Levante David different way. Again, he's got to bring his linebackers. Again, the strength of the Bucs defensively are their linebackers and their front three. Okay, that's what they got to do. And so more pressure up front. Releases it gives the secondary a bit better time to cover and not get torched. That's all I'm saying. They were getting torched, particularly Dean. Dean was getting torched. Again, I'm pretty sure they have another couple of defense, but the defensive backs that I saw, they weren't making the plays, and so that was the first half, and then second half came, and I just said. What really happened at the end? Of course, with 2 minutes left, Dallas Cowboys were down, and Dak Prescott, he took the Cowboys down for a 48-yard field goal and made it 29-28 Dallas. So there you go, with 1 minute and 24 seconds left. The ball is given to the Bucs offense and Tom Brady. And the outcome. The outcome with 1 minute, 24 seconds left, starting at the 25-yard line. At your own 25-yard line. And what does Brady do? Brady hits Bernard for 9 yards. Brady hits Bernard for first down. Brady hits Gronk. Then Brady hits Gronk again. First, and then Brady hits Godwin for a 24-yard, and yes, it was a thing of beauty. It was a back shoulder throw, timing throw, and Godwin made up for his fumble earlier in the game, which allowed the Cowboys to make it close anyway. The Bucs were going to score, but Godwin fumbled around about at the 3-yard line or something like that. So Godwin made up with this fantastic catch. And then with just a few seconds left, Ryan Suckup, 13-year veteran, hit a 36-yarder and won it with 2 seconds left in the game. 31-29. The Bucs, the champions Bucs, win the game. So what do you think about it? It was a spectacular game. Again, it's just something that way to kick off the season. And it went down to the wire. And it was, let me just say, it was so nice to see the crowd. There was a lot of Cowboy fans there, obviously. And even the Cowboys had, at the AT&T Stadium outside, had a venue for the fans in Dallas. But it was packed. It was a madhouse. It was a celebration of the Super Bowl champs. But you have to come out and prove it. You have to come out, and the Bucs will have to prove it. They have a lot to work on. Let me just say, they have a lot to work on. Offensively and defensively and special teams. Fortunately, they have Ryan Suckup, great kicker, and their punter is much better. Reassurance on special teams, but they really have to get better in managing the game. managing the game. And it's good that they have Bernard, the third running back, because Jones is good. He's a good switch up, and so is Garrett. Yet you need that third down back that's very, very reliable. And Chris Collinsworth brought that up, as well as Al Michaels commentating the game. But the Bucs will need to improve their defense. They will need to improve the back end of their defense if they are going to win their division. Oh, yeah, it's just the first. If they're going to win their division and move further and make the playoffs. So it's, again, we take it one game at a time. So that was a spectacular, nice start of the season. Both teams look good. There's no, and let me just say, there's no emotional. Even they were saying on the NFL Network show, that's a moral victory. There's no moral victories when you lose. There's no moral victories when you lose. And that's what Michael Irvin's, and they were talking about to Michael Irvin on NFL Network this morning. There's no moral victory when you lose. It's good to see Dak Prescott come out there and perform, but Dak Prescott wanted to win the game. I just hope he can last the entire season. But he needs to take the season in quarters. First quarter, second quarter, third, and fourth. Because it's a longer season now. So again, I see, props. I'm giving props to the Cowboys. Yeah. Yeah, believe it or not, the Beatles giving props to the Cowboys. I used to live in Texas. I'll give a little props to them, but I'm from Houston. I was in Houston. So, I'm not going to be that crazy about the Cowboys, but I'm giving them props right now. They look much improved. And, of course, I'm supporting my boys, Brady and the Bucs, and Bruce Arians, Coach Arians. And, again, it's just one game at a time. Can't look any further. One game at a time. So, it was a great win. Lots to work on, lots to improve. Got to buckle down. Got to expect you're going to get the best from every team. You're going to get the best from every team. So you have to be on your A game each and every game. So that's the way the Beatles sees it. That's the way I'm starting the season. I'm not going through each and every game. Just a game that, that I like. And usually it's going to end up with the Bucs. Never know. But I got to break down the tape. So I could not be so hyped up. So I broke down the tape, and that's what I saw. Again, the Bucs still have a long way to go. And, head coach Arians will tell you that. Brady will tell you that. The team will tell you that. So, it's great, a very good win. It's not a great win. It's a very good win. Starting off the season. And it was not a good loss for the Cowboys. It was a loss. End of story. But there you go. This is the Beatle. This is my breakdown of Brady versus Prescott and the Cowboys. We just getting started. Game one of the NFL week number 1. Entire season, we are going to be live all the time and bringing it to you each and every week or every other week or several weeks. There you go. Everybody's getting ready to go crazy. I'm going to get out of here. See y'all. Peace out, everyone. Let's do this.